Well, from that heartwarming story to another report on people who are abled differently.
Now, as the world marks International Day of Persons who are abled differently, the government and non-governmental organizations have been urged to prioritize persons living with neuro-developmental disorders such as epilepsy and autism, which have been termed as forgotten disabilities.
That's right. The majority of people in the disability bracket are said to be facing discrimination and stigmatization, which hinders them from accessing available opportunities.
Here is that report.
Bungoma County was the host of this year's International Day of Persons with Disability. The occasion saw thousands of Kenyans with disability flocking Kibabe Stadium in support of the day, under the theme Amplifying the Leadership of Persons with Disabilities for an Inclusive and Sustainable Future. Labour Cabinet Secretary Alfred Mutua put on notice institutions that do not implement disability-friendly policies and infrastructure in their organizations.
Wewe ni mhandisi mkuu wa serikali, una design barabara. Ile barabara una design haina hata walkway, haina hata ramp ambayo inatumika kuweza kutumia walemavu waweze kutumia vizuri. Kuanzia mwezi wa 7 tarehe 1, maofisa wa wizara yangu watazunguka kulingana na sheria. Hata kama ni bunge hapa Bungoma, tutaenda tuweke mbao tufunge.
And in Nairobi, the day was also marked with the National Councils for Persons with Disability pledging to push for the introduction of a new Disability Act that acknowledges caregivers as first responders.
When the early interventions are done the right way from the foundation, then we are sure we are building a future of inclusive leadership that involves all the diverse impairments within the disabilities.
Every child deserves the opportunity to thrive, and it's up to all of us to create a society where inclusion and acceptance is the norm.
So if you have to give finances, I think it's important that you don't classify disability into mild, middle or intensive.
This comes amidst a call to the government to prioritize those that have neuro-developmental disorder and also set up disability centers in schools to cater for the group.
People think that there is a perception of how autistic people should look like. So people will be like, oh, you're not autistic. Then they're like, no, you don't look like one.
However, the biggest challenge remains the support, especially from our government and even the private sector, for the invisible disabilities. And like in Kenya, approximately 1.5 people live with epilepsy.
Still in Nairobi, education stakeholders are calling for the mobilization of funds to help learners living with special needs, noting that most of them are disenfranchised due to lack of assistive devices, hence limiting them in education and consequently denying them an opportunity to compete favorably in the job market.
So I call for more resourcing so that we can have more buses, not just at the Action Foundation, but for all other organizations that are delivering STEM training. We invite them to also think innovatively on how they can reach learners.
We will be doing testing to see how it works. The bus is adapted for students with disabilities who may be using wheelchairs or who may have mobility challenges.
Elsewhere, Mandera County joined the global community in celebrating the International Day for Persons with Disabilities with a focus on inclusivity, empowerment, and equal opportunities for persons with disabilities. Opicho Chemtai for Prime Edition.